Hey everyone, today we're going to learn how to add or subtract positive and negative numbers. They're also called integers. We're going to learn how to do problems that look like this, or something that looks like this, or this. Now they all look kind of complicated, but don't worry, it's a lot easier than you think. Let's do an example, like a very easy example, like 5 minus a 3. We all know what the answer should be, right? The answer should be 2. But for today's lesson, I want you guys to think about the exact same problem, but a little bit differently. We're going to see this as 5, but instead of minus 3, we're going to say add a negative 3. Turns out the answer is also positive 2. Now this is because a minus sign and a negative sign actually do the exact same thing. Now here's why 5 plus negative 3 is 2. Suppose I have 5 positive circles. Now blue represents positives, and then I'm going to combine it with 3 negatives. Now these 3 negatives and these 5 positives, when they combine, something cancels out. Do you guys know that positives and negatives actually cancels out? Like for example, positive 3 and negative 3 actually combines to be 0. Or if I have positive 10 and negative 10, they also combines to be 0. And so we have 5 positives right here, and then we got 3 negatives. So let me go ahead and organize this so that the positives and negatives line up. Okay, so we got 5 positives and we got 3 negatives. We're going to combine the positives and the negatives, and remember, positives and negatives cancels. So we got 3 positives canceling out with 3 negatives. So that's why they go away. So what are we left with? We're left with positive 2. So that was a visual way for you guys to see that 5 plus a negative 3 must equal to 2. Let me show you guys another example. This time, let's do a problem that says 3 minus a 5. That kind of looks like a problem we just did, but it's a little bit different. We got positive 3 and then minus a 5. Turns out this one's gonna be negative 2. Why? Well, think of this as positive 3 combined it with a negative 5. In other words, you can see this as a positive 3 combined with a negative 5. And let's just use our same visuals to explain why 3 plus a negative 5 has to be a negative 2. So I'm going to show you guys 3 positives again. And this time we need 5 negatives. And I'm going to go ahead and organize it for you guys. There you go. So we got 3 positives combined with 5 negatives. Remember, positives, negatives cancels out. So 3 positives combined with 5 negatives, the 3 positives, 3 negatives cancels out. So what are we left with? Are we left with positive 2 or is it negative 2? It has to be negative 2 because we're left with 2 more negatives, which is why 3 plus negative 5 has to be negative 2. Now let's try a couple more problems that looks kind of like this. This time I got negative 7 added with 4. What does that equal? Well, can I show you guys this visually? Of course. But this time let's try this in our heads. You can even see it like this. I have 7 negatives. Combine that with 4 positives. Now negatives and positives cancel, but do I have more negatives or do I have more positives? Well, in this example, I definitely have more negatives. But the question is, how many more negatives do I have left when everything cancels? In this example, the answer has to be not just positive 3, because I don't have positive 3 left over. I definitely have negative 3. Again, I'm going to show you guys this one more time visually. I got 7 negatives. And then I got 4 positives. Now notice that the 4 positives combined with 7 negatives, things cancel because again, positives and negatives cancel. So we got 4 positives canceling with 4 negatives. So what do we have left? We got 3 negatives. That's why the answer is -3. Now I think you guys got a hang of it, so let's try this one more time and you guys try it on your own for a little bit. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's try this example. What if I have -3 combined with +10? Well, what's the answer? I got 3 negatives, 10 positives. Do I have more negatives or do I have more positives? In this example, I definitely have more positives. Now since I have 10 positives and 3 negatives, things cancel out because negative and positive cancels. So here in this example, I'm going to end up with positives left over. But the question is, how many more positives do I have left? In this example, there should be only 7 positives left. Hey, if you guys got this question correct, good job. Now here's a little quiz to help you guys and to test yourself if you can do this on your own. Okay, that last one was a little bit weird. That last problem says -5 minus a 3. Did you guys get that one correct? That one is gonna be -8. Why? Let's think of this problem as a -5 combined with not +3, but -3. In other words, you can think of this as -5 combined with -3. Now, remember, positives and negatives cancel. But what do we really have here? We have 5 negatives combined with 3 negatives. But we don't have positives and negatives to cancel. In this case, we got 5 negatives combined with 3 negatives. So since nothing cancels out, we have a grand total of not 8, but a total of -8. That's why -5 minus a 3 is -8. Hey, with that now, I think you guys are able to do maybe 4 problems on your own. Try this in your heads. Let's try 4 minus a 7. We can try 10 plus a -3. We can also try -6 minus a 4. And maybe something harder like 100 minus 104. What do you guys think?